Successful motivational speaker Jim Rohn left college after only 1 year to start a family and get a job. A half dozen years later, Rohn was in debt and couldn't imagine a way out. That's when he met entrepreneur John Earl Schoaf. The business leader impressed Rohn with his accomplishments, charisma, and life philosophy. As a result, Rohn joined Schoaf's direct selling organization and began to take his life in a more profitable direction. By the time he reached his early 30s, Rohn was a millionaire. Rohn's inspirational rags to riches story was the foundation of his career as a motivational speaker and writer. He is the author of 25 books and audio and video programs, including our featured title, The Seasons of Life. In this short classic, Rohn uses examples from the farmer's life to explain that we are in control of the direction our lives take. Spring is the time to enter the fertile fields of life with determination, knowledge, and commitment. The time to plant or create things of value. During the summer, we need to protect our crops or our work. Fall is a time to rejoice in what has grown during summer or to regret that which should have been accomplished. And winter is the time for gratitude and rest, as well as regrouping for the future. Throughout the seasons, Rohn stresses that we reap what we sow, for better or for worse, and that adversity makes us stronger. Now, let's begin with the summary of The Seasons of Life.
All of us, whether rich or poor, young or old, educated or not so educated, are the sum total of all those people and events that have touched us since first entering this world. What we are and what we have slowly brought upon ourselves. Those people and events which have left their mark, whether favorable or unfavorable, are now behind us. What happened even as recently as yesterday is no longer of any consequence, unless we choose to allow it to be. What is of great importance is who and what it is that leaves its mark today, and each day thereafter. What we have been is an established and unchangeable fact. What we can yet become is an unlimited, boundless opportunity. Therefore, do not allow your awareness of past difficulty or failures to adversely affect your current and future possibilities. The greatest value of the past is how wisely we invested in the future. Let the past be a servant for making the future both more enjoyable and profitable. There's no question that our environment can have an effect on our circumstance. We sometimes can accumulate a mixture of the people and environments of life which, if not altered in some way, will assure that our future will be just about like our past. Each of us is affected in a negative way by something each day. One of the great challenges of life is to have both the wisdom to recognize those sources of negativity and the courage to cast them aside if necessary. None of us would voluntarily drink a glass of deadly poison if we knew what it was, and yet each of us has friends or relatives or business associates whose effect on us is just as deadly as the glass of poison. The difference is that one form of poison kills instantly. Once consumed, the body recoils, weakens, and then all bodily functions cease. Other poisons kill hopes, ambitions, enthusiasm, and the thirst for achievement. There are those who will discourage those in search of a better occupation, and yet it is essential that each of us find what we were meant to do if true happiness is to be found. In countless ways, we wander through life allowing people and their attitudes and ideas to mold our character. People whose attitudes and ideas have brought themselves little in the way of progress, productivity, or happiness. Unpopular as it may seem, each of us accumulates people, customs, attitudes, habits, opinions, and philosophies which we very simply cannot afford to keep if we seek honestly after an improved life. If our attitudes, results, or happiness are to ever improve, we must exercise the painful discipline required for weeding out the garden of our life. Better than many of the wrong friends are a few of the right friends. Better than a few of the wrong friends is no friends at all. Life is a delicate maneuver of selection, rejection, review, and change. Each person entering our world brings either a contribution or destruction. Trying to be always nice is to invite certain disaster. A major challenge in life is for each person to learn the art of standing guard at the doorway of their mind. The words, opinions, and comments of others are constantly taking their toll on each of us. If humans are ever going to change their personal and financial circumstances from one level up to another, we must accept the fact that such progress must consist of doing as well as undoing. Many of the events and people who currently influence us most must be sacrificed. Those sources of doubt, worry, negativity, greed, and selfishness must be cut free, for as long as that influence remains, change will not likely occur. Undoing the past is difficult enough by itself, even without those who by their conversation, remarks, or attitudes keep pulling us back toward that which we're trying to leave behind. The value of surrounding yourself with the right friends is immeasurably awesome. The danger of surrounding yourself with the wrong friends can be devastating. Perhaps a good theme might be friendship in proportion to the right personal growth from that friendship. And finally, be aware that the right friends should not be equated to those with the most money. It is the attitudes, awareness, and other positive human virtues of the friends we select that are of importance. Change is a constant pattern in our lives. The only limitation placed on our abilities is our inability to easily recognize our unlimited nature. It is ironic that one of the few things in this life over which we have total control is our own attitudes, and yet most of us live our entire life behaving as though we have no control whatsoever. Attitude determines choice, and choice determines results. All that we are, and all that we can become, has indeed been left unto us. For all of us, the only constant factor in life is our feelings and attitudes toward life. A major challenge faced by us all is that we learn to experience the changing of life cycles without being changed by them. To make a constant and conscious effort to improve ourselves in the face of changing circumstances is to assure a tolerance for the winters of life's events and to permit ourselves the full enjoyment of the blessings of life's harvest come the autumn. First, let's consider the season of spring. It follows the turbulence of winter with a season of activity and opportunity. It is the season for entering the fertile fields of life with seed, knowledge, commitment, and a determined effort. It is not a time to linger nor to ponder the possibility of failure. Foolish is the one who would allow springtime to pass while dwelling upon the memory of the successful crop of last fall, or the failure to reap last fall, in spite of the massive efforts of last spring. The springtime of life manifests itself infrequently. With the intelligence, wisdom, and freedom of choice given to us as humans, exercise the discipline to plant in spite of the rocks, weeds, or other obstacles before us. The rocks, weeds, and thorns of the world cannot destroy all your seeds if you plant massively enough and intelligently enough. The warmth of the sun and the fertile fields of the spring are but part of the formula for achievement. The catalyst that produces the final result is intense, honest, and consistent human effort, and therein lies the problem. As humans, we are given free agency, the right to choose, the right to use discipline or not use it, the choice to act with courage or huddle in fear, the choice to think or respond out of habit. Above all, the gift of human intelligence and the freedom of choice that accompanies it is not a blessing but a curse, for it allows us to even fool and lie to ourselves, which is the height of ignorance. It is the promise of spring that as we sow, so shall we also reap. Sow lies, reap lies. Sow greed, reap poverty. Sow inactivity, reap an empty storehouse. Choose to procrastinate, and surely an infant giant will grow to become a monster, rendering your future action ineffective. Each day is given to us as a new season of spring. The thoughts, deeds, dreams, and efforts of today will provide tomorrow's harvest. To neglect the opportunity given to us this day is to delay our better future. Do not use today to mentally relive yesterday, or to await the arrival of tomorrow, for tomorrow, when it arrives, will be called today. There will be no better day, no better opportunity, no better springtime, no better time to begin than the current moment. Seize the moments as you find them, and mold them into your own better future. Today's procrastination will surely be tomorrow's regret. Life is truly a constant beginning, a constant opportunity, and a constant springtime. We need only to look once again at life as we did as children, letting fascination and curiosity give us welcome cause for taking a second look, rather than taking for granted. Fortune, happiness, and peace of mind await those who learn to look for the miraculous hidden among the common. The unique blending of sun, soil, and seed at the springtime of seasons will provide predictable and miraculous results for those who will learn to take full and complete advantage of the spring. From spring, we move to summer. Progress in any form and happiness or success in any form requires constant effort, for obstacles exist that might discourage the weak and the undeserving. Overcome one obstacle in life and another appears to fill the void. Life is designed to be a story of achievement in spite of adversity, not in the absence of adversity. For without adversity, achievement could not exist. Do not blame the problems and challenges of life for your humbling circumstances. The constant, unrelenting pull of life is downward, giving cause for disappointment, despair, and discouragement. There shall always be cause to give up. There shall always be cause for complaint. But engage in complaining, and you add to the downward pull of life. The summer of life is a time to protect. It is a time for constant daily effort to guard against the busy bugs and the noxious weeds. The spring is a time for the creation of things of value, and those things require the season of summer for growing and gaining strength, that they might yield the result in the coming fall. The end of spring cannot bring an end of human effort. One effort ends, and another remains yet to begin. Develop an understanding and awareness of the fact that all goods will be attacked. It is nature's way of qualifying those who are worthy and those who are not. The weeds of life are designed to turn confidence into doubt, trust into suspicion, patience into impatience, and effort into procrastination, worry, and eventual defeat. Do not spend valuable time arguing with nature. Learn to accept the perpetual existence of negativity, and learn also that negativity always yields to constant human effort, coupled with a constantly growing human faith and attitude. Smile at adversity, and act quickly to eliminate it. Expect adversity, for it shall surely appear. Be grateful for adversity, for it forces the human spirit to grow. For surely the human character is formed not in the absence of difficulty, but in our response to difficulty. To accuse others, to feel sorry for ourselves, or to continue rationalizing or making excuses is foolish. Only a massive, voluntary, and effective assault on changing causes is important. Direct your thought, conversation, and full attention to that if you wish to change circumstances. Concentrate a good share of your idle hours upon self-development by planning more, reading more, and investing more. Invest your time in worthy projects. Invest your thoughts toward a worthy purpose. Invest your talents toward a worthy occupation. Invest your affection toward a worthy recipient. And finally, reserve your greatest respect for yourself. For it is that image, what you perceive yourself to be, that determines the quality of life. Let's face it, people and events are going to continue to both hurt and disappoint you. Among the people will be those you love most, as well as those you know least. It has been this way through 6,000 years of recorded history, and your hurt or grief is not the first time a human has been deeply hurt by the inappropriate actions of another. The only way to avoid being touched by life, the good as well as the bad, is to withdraw from society. and even then you will disappoint yourself, and your imaginings about what is going on out there will haunt you and hurt you. Knowing this, there is but one solution that will support you when people and events hurt you, and that is to learn to work harder on your own personal growth than anything else. Following the growth of summer is the harvest of fall. For those who planted abundantly in the spring and who fought against the bugs, weeds, and weather of summer, fall can bring rewards which give cause for rejoicing. For those who watched both the arrival and departure of spring and who made little effort to take advantage of its most momentary tenure, fall can be a time of turmoil, a time of anxiety, and a time of great regret. It is in the fall when we discover how long or short winter will be. The fall tells us if we have really done that which is required. The law of the universe is faultless. It applies equally well to the farmer as to the business person. The law is equally applied to all things and all people. The law has endured since the creation of the world, and for that long, men have sought to circumvent it, or argue with it, and even to ignore it. In the end, our results demonstrate if we have obeyed its orders or disobeyed. The law is simple and known to all. The law is, as you sow, so shall you reap. In all areas of the human existence, be aware that what we put into this world, we get back from it. It is nature's way of evening the score. Both thoughts and actions determine the result, the lifestyle, and the human attitude. Lies, sooner or later, attract lies in return. Finding an easier way at the expense of quality will take its inevitable toll in decreased profits and sleepless nights. All effort, be it service, marketing, recruiting, or products, must bring good to all those who are involved, or the effort will not withstand the final test of time. Corn planted in the spring will produce corn in the fall, as will wheat, barley, or melons produce after their own kind. You cannot plant one crop and expect to reap another just because you change your mind during midsummer. In the fall, we either enjoy or we excuse. For those who failed to take advantage of the spring, who failed to guard their crops carefully throughout the heat of summer, there can be no legitimate reasons, only excuses, and excuses are merely apologetic attempts to place blame on circumstances rather than ourselves. Massive action in the spring of life still is the requirement for massive success in the fall. 40 hours a week spent in the fields of opportunity may not be enough, especially if it is spent in the wrong field. And while there is great difficulty involved in changing one field for another more fertile field, that difficulty is insignificant when compared to the ultimate difficulty that comes from not changing. From fall, we move to winter. The first great lesson of life to learn is that winter will always come, not only in the winter of cold, wind, ice, and snow, but the human winters of despair and loneliness, or disappointment or tragedy. Winter comes in many forms, and at any time, both to the planter of crops as well as to the person in business, or even to our personal lives. The arrival of winter finds us in one of two categories. Either we are prepared or we are unprepared. To those who are prepared, we have planted abundantly in the spring, guarded their crops carefully during the summer, and harvested massively during the fall. Winter can be yet another season of opportunity. Winter is a time for rest, but not excessive rest. What we do with our time, with ourselves, with our friends, and with our attitudes during the season of winter determine what we will do with the coming spring. We are meant to constantly improve our conditions, our results, and ourselves. We either improve or we regress, for never do we remain the same. If we do not improve, it is because we do not use our intelligence, our reasoning, and our full potential. And finally, what we do not use, we lose. Through lack of use, we may lose our intelligence, reasoning, potential, and strength. And when lack of use or misuse costs us these worthy human attributes, we predictably regress. To those who are prepared for winter's arrival, let them use winter as they would use spring, to take advantage. To those who are unprepared, the arrival of winter is a time for regret and a time for sorrow. The major challenge confronting those surrounded by winter is to not let it affect the arrival of spring and our ability to recognize that arrival. Much of life is in learning to always remain part of the solution rather than allowing ourselves to become part of the problem. Only those worthy human attributes of honesty, loyalty, love, and trust in God and in our fellow man are meant to remain constant. Winter is a time for being grateful for our achievements or for having endured our lack of achievement. Someone once said, "Don't pray for things to be easier. Rather, pray for more obstacles and more challenges, for it is out of these that man's character and will to succeed are formed." Nearly every success story that I am aware of began when the person first lay flat on his mental and financial back. In this condition, people usually become sufficiently disgusted to reach deep down inside and pull out talents, abilities, desire, and determination, the essentials required of anyone wishing for things to get better. It is in the face of adversity that things begin to change, and the things always change as a result of the personal change that takes place. Your role of present failure or success is a temporary condition. You will rebound from failure as surely as you gravitated into failure. So, foolish as it may sound, thank God for your present limitations or failure, if that should be the case, for you now occupy a status from which nearly all success stories originate. From this moment on, and for what remains of the balance of your life, make your commitment to excellence, remembering that it is your challenge to succeed.
We hope you've enjoyed this summary of the book, The Seasons of Life. Please visit success.com to purchase this book for your personal success library. While you're there, be sure to sign up to receive the free e-zine, Seeds of Success, to get great ideas, tips, and inspirational insights delivered to your email inbox. To learn how to share success book summaries with your friends and business associates, visit www.success.com/summaries.